Hi, folks. This is Mountain Man coming to you from parts unknown. I hope everyone is doing well tonight, and I hope my stream is coming through clear and everybody can hear me. But the world woke up today to what? To a surprise, a positive surprise that Donald Trump just woke up and put out a tweet, and don't you know, things stabilize. But what is going on? We're getting all kinds of different signals and all kinds of criticisms and all kinds of signs of hope and signs of doom. But we'll talk about all of it, plus other things that's happening. But what do? While people are coming in, I play videos to give people time to get a cup of coffee or a cold brew or an adult beverage or maybe even a glass of Kool-Aid, whatever you want. And then what do? We'll be like butter and get on a roll.
Dust on my Bible, flags on the line. You laughed at our warnings, called truth a crime. You sold us your secrets, wrapped up like hope. Signed all our futures with a poison note. You sat in your mansions, we prayed in the rain. You cast every favor on a ledger of pain. You thought you were covered, names on a list, private plain pages you swore don't exist. Tick-tock, time's up, game over, you're done. Thought you hid in the shadows, but we watched every run. You sold out your own people, every promise a lie. Now the truth hits different with the world looking right in your eyes. Tick-tock, time's up, game over, you lose. Treason don't pay well when the light cuts through. God on our side and he's right on time. When the judge walks in, every bell gon' chime. Game over. You thought she was certain, thought he was too. Shook hands in the back room, said they'll never break through. You mocked every farmer, every steel-toed boo. Called him crazy and bitter while you buried the proof. Now screens start flashing, whole names, young kids, whole world scrolling through the things y'all did. Digital soldiers from the cornfields to Rome say leave our children alone or we're taking you home. Let's go! Tick-tock, time's up, game over, you're done. Thought you hid in the shadows, but we watched every run. You sold out your own people, every promise a lie. Now the truth hits different with the world looking right in your eyes. Tick-tock, time's up, game over, you lose. Treason don't pay well when the light cuts through. God on our side and he's right on time. When the judge walks in, every bell gon' chime. Game over. From the back roads to the big tall towers, Patriots worldwide, this the final hour. You can beg, you can bargain, you can scream, you can hide, but the book's been written and your name's inside. Tick-tock, time's up, game over, you're done. Thought you hid in the shadows, but we watched every run. You sold out your own people, every promise a lie. Now the truth hits different with the world looking right in your eyes. Tick-tock, time's up, game over, you lose. Treason don't pay well when the light cuts through. God on our side and he's right on time. Nothing's gonna stop what's already signed. Game over.
Storm zone.
Yes, sir.
I'm wondering what storm they're talking about.
They have unsuccessfully tried to take down the wrong person.
He's absolutely going to come back with full vengeance the next time around.
I think about what 4 years of a retribution presidency might look like. Our Constitution really does give President
told him they are working on figuring out the identities of the FBI and DOJ staff and forming lists.
I will direct a completely overhauled DOJ to investigate every radical DA and AG in America for their illegal, racist enforcement of the law. The deep state is destroying our nation, but the tables must turn and we will quickly destroy the deep state. We know where the bodies are buried. There are a lot of people out there that have done some very, very evil things, very bad things, I would say treasonous things against our country. People that have done such harm to our country. I've been looking at them for a long time.
He could order the investigation and prosecution of individuals who he perceives as enemies.
Put them all in jail where they belong. You gotta get tough and smart, and you have to fight fire with fire. You can't allow this to go on. And I will be the one to clean it up. I am your retribution. We will take care of it. We will take care of it.
Hi, folks. Thank you for joining me. If you hadn't noticed, my buttons aren't quite doing what I want them to do, but let's hope that this live stream shall come through good and clear as I soldier on, right? What am I? I'm a digital warrior. Ha ha, that's what I am, and that's what you all are at the same time. Hi, Tammy. How are you doing? Darla, nice to see you. Sherry, Lucky, Cole's here. Doc is here. Rebecca, Linda, Brett, nice to see you. Wayne's here. Yes, thank you for giving me a thumbs up, Wayne. And we did pretty good with a thumbs up last broadcast. Wow. Nice to see that. So let's see. Darla's here. Robin's here. Randy's here. All right, Miss Mendersue. Yeah, I got to remember to get my booms ready, Miss Mendersue. Awaken Trillium. How are you, Elva? Let's see, who else is here? Benjamin's here. Nice to see you. Thank you all for stopping in to see me tonight. We got an Iranian negotiator, top secret. Do you think we could have somebody like Joe Kent still in the administration when somebody is apparently risking their life to talk to Donald J. Trump's entourage? Whatever manner they're doing these discussions, it must be in some secure manner. And the person's life is obviously at risk. Some people say, well, there is no negotiator. Trump's making it all up. Hi, Melinda. How are you? Todd's here. Outlandish is here. Let's see. I think I got everybody. If I missed anyone, I apologize. And I'll get somebody else's picture on the live stream before I throw any booms. I got to be careful who I blow up. But anyway, yeah, we were doing a countdown. Going to be explosions, big booms. And Trump came out this morning with a truth that said the negotiations were going very well. And that he would give another 5 days. But the 5 days were for not bombing. Not bombing. Power plants and things of that nature. Not anything else, though. He didn't say anything about it, about other stuff. And he's got more up his sleeve. I want to tell y'all something I wanted to put up the other day. immediately before all this drama, before Trump's ultimatum, an event happened on Karg Island when the media was rife with speculation about the Marines, how many were coming, when they were going to get here, what are they going to do when they get here? Is he going to take Karg Island? And the Revolutionary Guard, we will level Karg Island. We will obliterate it. We won't let anybody have anything if anybody tries to get on Karg Island. Remember all that stuff? Hi, Pappy Two Bears. How are you? Well, a little piece to the puzzle, I think. A little piece to the puzzle. TankerTrackers.com. This was day before yesterday. Karg Island is loading another 2 very large crude carrier VLCC super tankers today. That's 4 million barrels, worth over 400 million. The tankers on Karg Island, the country's main export terminal, according to ship, well, just pretty much repeats the same thing that I just said. That was the same day. Well, the day after, Scott Bessent said he was lifting sanctions on Iranian oil. Somebody made a deal. Somebody had a handshake going on. That's a lot of money. And pretty much drained what was on Karg Island. Now, how do you think this plays into what's going on? Because oil dropped from 112, last I saw was down around 94. I don't know what it's down to now. But quite a bit. The markets calmed down quite a bit. And not every person in that regime is willing to be destroyed or made a pauper of. And we have to see where these factions are coming from, how solid they are. But I believe there is somebody with influence and power that is talking to the Trump team. And like Trump said, we have to keep him alive. He said they don't have normal forms of communication. That's all been wiped out. You look at what Iran has done. They've attacked their neighbors. We all know that. They've attacked civilian infrastructure in non-combatant states, like desalinization plants. They proved to the world, this is the biggest thing that happened this week. They proved to the world that whoever was in charge were liars by sending that missile 3 times farther than they ever claimed they could send a ballistic missile. And when you're talking about being able to destroy cities like London, Paris, Berlin, on down the line, it goes. You get a lot of people's eyeballs pop open, and they bombed the Holy Land near the Al-Aqsa Mosque. They have aggravated, infuriated, terrified just about everybody that has a say in anything on the face of this earth. And they prove that they can't be trusted. Somebody proved by them launching that missile that they were liars about life and death on a worldwide scale. So I think that's the biggest story. The left is stunted. Hi, Cole, how you doing? Oh, I saw. I thought I didn't say article yet. Wait a minute. Todd's here. Everybody. I think I got everybody. The left is stunted. They don't know what to do. And ICE is operating in the airports. And that's going to be just made standard now. That's why I put in the title, Trump Gatekeeper. He said that he was, that there was a possibility of a joint gatekeeping there in the Persian Gulf, right? In the Strait of Hormuz. I don't know how serious that's going to be. But it is Trump planting a flag that he is going to be involved in whether there is a flow of oil out of there or not. Meanwhile, you can bet that there are many plans in the work by many different countries that have been damaged, rattled, woke up, so to speak. They got plenty of money. There's going to be plans to do pipelines to bypass that Strait of Hormuz in a pinch, and at some point even altogether. The canal talk, I know that was, that is a drastic notion. Well, it's 21 miles. That's not at all impossible. But pipelines and pumping stations, that is something they're going to be looking at. And what will that do to Iran's influence? Trump is opening up the oil drill, baby drill on American soil, and it's going to further erode influence of these oil barons, these mad dog mullahs that have been operating on oil money for decades. It's going to weaken them even farther. This is changing the entire power structure for energy around the world. Did anybody see what oil is now? I don't know what it is. Trump was in a very good mood. Then he went to Graceland. Graceland. I mean, it doesn't seem like a lot, but doing things that are totally detached from this conflict, something that recalls America's culture and history, and have a good time while he's doing it. That is very soothing. And I think we're going to see markets recover. Todd says it's at 92 now. So it's dropped almost $20 a barrel or more. Because it was probably higher when I saw it was it was a 124 on Maria Bartiromo's program yesterday. And then it went down to 112, and now it's at 92. So that's a huge drop. A huge drop. But anyway, I'll go ahead and play some of Trump. We were kind of giving Newsmax the side eye, weren't we? And one of these clips, Trump slaps them down because they were asking stupid questions. But anyway, let me see which clip this is. One of them, he says we're going to bomb our little hearts out if they don't get along, if they don't follow through on what is supposedly going on. But in diplomatic circles, political circles, this person is known as the Iranian negotiator. That's what they call it. So anyway, let's see what Trump's saying here.
Talking with Iran. power plants. How is that different from what Russia has been doing in Ukraine by hitting Ukrainian power?
Well, I think it's a lot different. And if you look at the nuclear weapons that they wanted to have, that they wanted to possess, a lot of things are different. I'm not a fan of what Russia's doing either, just so you understand. All right? But it's a lot different. You're talking about a country that has been evil for 47 years. They've been horrible.
Yeah, so they're challenging him there about the strikes on the utility plants and stuff like that. Well, Russia's doing it. Well, you can't compare the conflicts. Just like Trump said, I won't beat it to death. We're dealing with an evil regime that will actively try to destroy infidels anywhere, anytime it can, if it gets the power. So, yeah, this is a little bit different than a backyard fight between Ukrizel and Ukraine. So anyway, here's another discussion with Trump.
Point very, very soon meet. We're doing a 5-day period. We'll see how that goes. And if it goes well, we're going to end up with settling this. Otherwise, we'll just keep bombing our little hearts out.
Yeah, he's laying out the options. We can just continue to ground and pound if they don't come around. That rhymes. I'm a poet and don't know it. So anyway, here he is with the Newsmax business. And some of the questions is, I don't know who this Newsmax person was, but I think he's asking, tell me what you think. I think in this clip he's asking if he supports ISIS. What kind of dopey ass question is that? And who put him up to it? But Trump said, he just blew him off, and he said, started talking to CNN. He said, well, when I go to CNN first, that didn't look good for you. Let me see. Cut my mic off.
Deployed ICE agents to American airports today. Newsmax, sir. You've deployed ICE agents.
You're not doing a very good job.
You've deployed ICE agents.
You're not doing a good job. Did you hear me? Okay, go ahead.
What exactly do you want from these calls?
I'm taking CNN over Newsmax.
What exactly are you looking for in these?
You're not doing a very good job. Did you hear me? So anyway, he didn't show any signs of discombobulation on his part, and he handled the press with his usual aplomb, even though it might have been a little bit biting. And then he went to Graceland. Here he is walking in. Who's the guy in the? I don't know. There's an older fellow there. I know that. What was it, Colonel Tom Parker? He's passed away a while back. So I guess these are caretakers. I don't know.
We love Elvis. Who doesn't love Elvis? Everybody loves Elvis, right? Hello. How are you? Hi. How are you? Nice to see you.
Welcome to the second most visited president of America.
Wow, that's very good.
Your house is number one.
It's pretty good too, right?
Yes.
It's very nice to see you. Oh, very good. That's right. We gave Elvis the highest award of this. Congressional Medal of Honor and the President. Great. Nice to see you, brother.
Hi, I'm Shannon, and I'm going to be your tour guide today.
Very good.
Yeah, trip down memory lane with some heavy-duty Americana there. I mean, you got Elvis and Michael Jackson and a very few people that ever reached that pinnacle of fame in our country. And here he is saying a little something about Michael Jackson. Elvis. What did James Brown said? If I was Elvis, y'all wouldn't put me in jail. But anyway.
Sinatra, I knew most of them. Unfortunately, I never met Elvis, and that would be one I would have liked a lot. But I do like his music, I will say. So thank you for inviting me. I appreciate it.
Thank you for coming and visiting us.
So let's take a look.
All right. So welcome to the list.
Yeah, he said Elvis he never met, but he would have liked him a lot. So, a lot of speculation going on about who this Iranian negotiator is. Hi, MS Motorsports. And there's been people saying that it was the guy who's been making statements. He's in the Iranian parliament. I don't know his name, but he keeps denying it. And the Iraqi foreign minister who's on U.S. soil via the UN is denying that Iran's done any negotiating at all. But something is going on. And also, while this is going on, things are happening. We got Mark Wayne Mullen. I don't know what the final vote was, but I know he passed a committee hearing 54-38, which means there's like 8 or 9 senators dipping out or not voting, but still, I believe he won handily. Mark Wayne Mullen confirmed to lead a DHS in turmoil. Why is it in turmoil? Oh, it's CNN, because CNN says so. Mark Wayne Mullen will serve as President Donald Trump's next Department of Homeland Security Secretary, elevating the U.S. Senator to the helm of the agency at the center of the president's controversial immigration enforcement effort and an ongoing shutdown. It's not controversial to me. Hi, Kim. How you doing? Well, I don't think they have too much of an abundance of leaders. Now, I have a clip here. I haven't pre-watched it. We'll comment on it together. But I got this clip because somebody I hadn't heard of from in a while. Brit Hume. Now, he's mealy-mouthed a lot of times, a kind of a rhino-ish person. But let's see what I'm going to suspect this is going to be a blend between rhino takes and lefty loons. I don't know. Bret Hume is, like I say, mealy-mouthed. But let's see what it says.
Fox News chief political analyst Brit Hume. Brit, good evening. You know, the president now, saying he wants to give this diplomacy a chance and give it 5 days. He's getting criticized for that. He was getting criticized for going in at the beginning. Where are your thoughts tonight on all this?
Well, I think it's true that there's some negotiations going on. The question that faces the administration, of course, is whether whoever they're talking to is really in charge. There are all kinds of reports about dissension within the ranks in Iran. Statements get put out and retracted and so on. So that's question number one. And then, of course, question number two, obviously, is whether whatever deal can be struck is going to satisfy the president and indeed our Israeli allies. So there's some, this is one of these situations where militarily we've pretty well won this. The thing we have to watch out for, which is the thing that bedeviled us in other enterprises like this, is, you win the war, then you have to make sure that you also win the peace. And as we proved in Iraq, it's possible to win the war and lose the peace. So the administration confronts some opportunities here and some challenges. And it also is playing by a set of rules that seem to be dreamed up by people who are critical of the administration and indeed of the United States in general, which is if we fight a war, we have to have no or virtually no casualties. We have to have no losses of military equipment or virtually none. We have to have whatever objectives anybody in an administration ever announces must be fully and completely met, or the whole thing will be judged a failure. So there's political peril here. The media coverage has been atrocious in the sense that it has taken a negative view at every turn. And so the president has to confront that as well. A challenging atmosphere, but one, I think, in which Israel
opportunity. Yeah.
Well, it's a pretty good take so far, but I'll just remind you, keep in the back of your mind, there had to be some kind of understanding for them to unload on Carg Island unmolested. They weren't fired on. They weren't, they loaded up 2 huge super tankers with $400 million worth of oil. And so somebody's talking to somebody.
I spoke to the president's peace envoy, Steve Witkoff. They are having discussions. They are making progress, in his words, on a number of different specific fronts, kind of backing up what the president said there. But as far as who that person is they're dealing with, here's the president being asked about that. Take a listen.
The people that seem to be running it, and they seem that based on really fact, because things they've said have taken place.
Mr. President,
I can't.
Mr. President, I know you've deployed.
Because I don't want them to be killed. Okay? I don't want them to be killed.
So the objective between what the U.S. wants and the objective of what Israel wants could be 2 different things at this point.
That's true, Brett, but I think, every time we come to this pass, and we've seen it several times about there being a division between the U.S. and Israel, it seems either to get patched up or never to have existed at all. I'm not saying that there aren't some differences of goals here, but so far this has been a remarkably coherent 2-nation coalition against Iran. With the division of labor being very effective in the sense, for example, on the first day, we provided the intelligence as to where all those leaders were meeting, and Israel carried out the strike that killed them all. So I think we need to watch this carefully.
Well, that's right. What Britt Hume's saying. There had to be some inside disgruntled entities inside that helped those initial strikes and following strikes to be so successful on the people at the top of the totem pole. But remember, I said the golden rule a long time ago. I said, what is the golden rule? Let's see who remembers in the chats. What is the golden rule? And I got to correct you, Debbie. Hi, Debbie. How you doing? Indian heritage. I have Kraut and Mick, M-I-C. That means Irish and German, or German, where all the Germs live. If an Indian wiggled in there somewhere way back, I don't know. I know an Italian did. But anyway, you know how those Italians are. But hi, Roland. How you doing? But it's mostly Kraut and Irish. And I can say Kraut because I'm a Kraut. Hi, Angel. How are you? I have a very big MS Motorsports. How are you doing? A very big family over in Germany. I talked about that in the past. The house my mother was born in was built in 1620. My family records on my mother's side go back quite a long time. 500-600 years. But anyway, what is the golden rule? Because the golden rule is going to be very important going forward. And as you concentrate on that, people put some answers in the chats. I will put up some posts from the Ruski News. Get a load of this. Germany offered Japan a military alliance to accelerate the deployment of troops from both countries. And the reporter says, I've seen this somewhere before. All that's left is to quietly include Italy. That is a reporter's backhand referring to World War II. Adolf Mussolini and, well, not Hirohito, Tojo, over in they called it the Axis powers. So anyway, yeah, they're going back in history. It's really not a fair assessment, but that's what they're pointing out. Here we have, what's this now? I will check the chats in a minute to see if anybody made any answers, and they know what the golden rule is. The Iranian Ministry of Foreign Affairs states that negotiations with Washington are not taking place. Oh, really? And accuses Trump of trying to buy time while efforts to de-escalate the situation in the region continue. Okay. Iran made it clear it has no intention of reopening the Strait of Hormuz due to the U.S. statement about temporarily halting attacks on energy infrastructure. Keep in mind, he didn't say anything about the other targets. Moreover, other targets, mainly hardheads that he said, we don't want him killed. Who's he talking about is going to go after this Iranian negotiator? Could he be talking about Mossad? Well, maybe. Both. Maybe he's talking to both. He's definitely talking to the hardheads in the regime right now. Might have been giving a little nudge to Mossad. We don't want him getting hurt. But the Iranian hardheads would take him out. The Iranian hardheads. Moreover, they warned that passage through the strait will no longer be the same as it was before the war. You got that right. Because you're going to have Donald Trump down there. Donald Trump, it's going to be something like this. This is somebody made this meme about Japan entering the war. Japan to send help to open the Strait of Hormuz. Well, you just pretend like that's Orange Man. Orange Man good down there. Because that's what they're going to get. One way or the other. I don't care what percentage of control is. Oh, you got 50%. You got 50%. No. Because of the golden rule. Hi, Mac. How you doing? Let me see what's going on here. Do I notice what you would have them doing to you? That is the golden rule. Tony said he who has the gold. What is that rule? Pennsylvania Dutch, Roland? Okay. Yeah, plus they've got all the weapons, Todd. The population is totally disarmed. Miss Mendersue, German and Irish, that's me, right? Get that orneriness. And want to get things done, don't you, when you're sober? Well, I will finish up the golden rule. Todd is correct in the biblical sense. But we're dealing with people who deal with the Quran, which is a specious document written 600 years after the year after Christ was born, 4,000 or 5,000 years after Abraham. So anyway, the golden rule in geopolitics and political power is he who has the gold makes the rules. Makes the rules. So you don't have to have the gold in your pocket. You have to control who gets it. Donald Trump could have stopped them loading up at Carg Island. He could have stopped those tankers from coming through. He could financially starve this regime, although it would cause a lot of suffering for the people of Iran. But when their currency is equal in value to a roll of Charmin toilet paper, you know, it's kind of hard to say that they're being treated harsher because the elites and the regime is being starved out. But anyway, if Trump's got control over how much money they can make, he's got the gold. He can decide who can get it. And he can plug up that strait. Donald Trump can put a cork in it right there at the most narrow point where you could still have United Arab Emirates, Oman, Kuwait, all the players being able to go from the strait out, but from the strait back all the way to Karg Island and to the shore. Just make it a lake. Nothing. Don't even bother sending stuff to the Strait of Hormuz. We don't care what you do up there. Put as many mines as you want to put up there. Many drone suicide bombs, anything you want. But from the strait on out, I'm running the show. And nothing's getting, you can't put nothing through. Good for the goose, good for the gander. And yeah, who would be squealing then? Iran and China. Yeah, Todd, 20,000. Before the conflict, I forget how many millions of reals you had to have to get $1. They were decimated financially. The citizens were decimated financially before this conflict even started. So they can't say that it's Trump's fault. So, but they do. They try, boy, they try. They got the nerve to put this garbage out. BBC. Isn't Trump going to sue your eyeballs out of your head? Yes, he is. Earth's climate being pushed beyond its limits. Mind you, we have been dealing. How many years has the Ukraine war been going on? How many tanks have we seen burning with thick, black, heavy smoke coming out of those tanks, coming out of those armored personnel carriers, coming out of the buildings? Thousands and thousands and thousands of missiles, artillery shells for years. Nobody says a damn thing, but BBC News says Earth's climate being pushed beyond its limits. According to the UN, the Earth is gaining much more heat and energy than it can release, and the smooth-brained climate bimbos will believe this. Driven by emissions of warming gases such as carbon dioxide, the UN has warned an El Nino looms. They're going to blame it on this conflict. Well, they're doing it right now in a surreptitious way. But, like I said with you, Crystal, they didn't say a damn word. I like this one. Who's the fellow that was in last night? Who is the fellow that was in last night? He'll want to see this one right here. We had a veteran in last night, sniper. Started serving right around Tora Bora. How many of you all remember Tora Bora? Yeah, this is a good one to put on your meta page. I am totally disgusted. 50 years, and we hunted and KILL'd commies. Well, how many times have I said that? My dad got taught how to take care of them. Phantom, how you doing? Today, we let them run states and tell us what we can do. where we can go and what we can buy. What the heck happened? Well, not only that, but it's coming down what you can eat, what time you got to wake up in the morning when they blast their prayers at 5 a.m. When you look at the big picture, the 40,000-foot view, isn't it strange that since Kennedy was assassinated and Nixon was removed, there has been this rise in jihadist politics in America and around the world. We don't have Iranians who fled the regime and came to America. We don't have them in the government. But we have people who affiliate and show an affinity for the Palestinians, for Hamas, for ISIS, in our government, in our Congress, in our courts, in a 50-year period, almost 50, in a 47-year period. Our body politic has become infested with people with a desire for Sharia law. And they facilitated the largest mass migration in human history, many of them coming from nations that ascribe to a radical Muslim faith. Okay? That infidels are worse, lower than dogs. A philosophy of conquest all throughout our nation. So I'm bringing that up because it's obvious. It's obvious. And when I see these senators, even though there's some people we like, like Kennedy with his folksy jokes and stuff like that, and other politicians, that we go, oh, that's a great one there. Wait a minute. And, the Bernie bros or ex-Bernie bros, these people have supervised this destruction of our country. And they haven't spoke out about it loudly enough. They haven't done a damn thing. They've been sitting in their chairs watching it happen. Billions of dollars being sent out of our country, being ripped off of our parents, ourselves, for our children for decades. And nobody's done a damn thing about it. That's abnormal. Okay. So I give them all the side eye. All of them. Rand Paul, Kennedy, especially Bernie Sanders, Mitch McConnell. They have been enabling or silent while this has been going on. You think trillions of dollars can get stolen and nobody's going to say a damn thing? Unless they're okay with it somehow. The Wall Street Journal states that Iranian demands for ending the war are as follows. Wait a minute, I forgot something. I was bringing up Rashida Tlaib, Ilhan Omar, the squad, and all these mayors and people that have a Muslim bent to them. Wait a minute, I forgot. What about the Obama administration? What about Valerie Jarrett? What about Susan Rice? What about John Kerry? Half his family are Muslims. All in very powerful positions in our government. And that all started after 2 presidents were removed and Jimmy Carter came in. And that's when we were off to the races. And it's so obvious to me. And it's like I see in the chats, Some people saying, I'm so sick of this. I'm so sick of this game. I am too. I'm sick of it too, because I've been watching it. I've been watching it since the 60s. And I could tell then that something was very, very wrong. Now we're seeing it. Has it gone too far? That even the great and powerful, as Andrew Branca says, Donald J. Trump can't handle it? Has it gone that far? But anyway, Iranian demands. Number one, Iran will seize control of the Strait to Hormuz and will have the right to collect a toll for passage. Yeah, that'll work. The U.S. must provide firm guarantees of non-aggression against Iran in the future. No, if you pursue nuclear weapons, we will blow the hell out of you, okay? But bomb the living bee-jabbers out of you. Israel must stop its aggression against Lebanon and Hezbollah. Oh, yeah, they don't never do nothing to Israel, right? Yeah, that's fine. They'll quit. The U.S. must completely evacuate its bases in the Persian Gulf. Ha, ha, ha. Well, Trump said we don't need that sand over there. There's nothing over there but sand and death. So if he did leave, it wouldn't be because of your big mouth. He just tired of us spending billions over there on you nitwits anyway. But we can't have you threatening the rest of the world. We can't have you disrupting world markets. The U.S. must pay financial compensation to Iran for the damage cost. Right now, want the money. Yeah, okay. Listen, you're the ones driving yourselves into bankruptcy. Whether you know it or not, financially, Donald Trump could be your best friend, you idiots. So anyway, that's what they're putting out. Bloomberg, what do they got to say? None of these news agencies are anybody's friend. Bloomberg, it seems the Middle East conflict has forced some oil and gas companies to burn more natural gas in their facilities than usual, which led to the release of pollutants that contribute to global warming in the atmosphere. Can you believe that? After what I just said about Ukraine and the years of explosions and smoke and chemicals, nobody said a damn thing. You didn't see Greta von Doomberg down there doing anything about it. What's this one now? According to Trump, Iran agreed not to work with nuclear fuel at all, even for civilian purposes. However, Iran itself has already repeatedly stated that it will never abandon development in this direction, while confirming it does not intend to create nuclear weapons. What the hell kind of sense does that make? They're proven liars when they sent that ballistic missile 3 times the distance than what they claimed they could. The Israeli press reports are that negotiations with the U.S. are being conducted by the Speaker of the Iranian Parliament, Mohammad Bagher Ghalibaf, or however you say it, Ghalibaf. The Iranian Foreign Ministry denied the negotiations. We are monitoring the situation. Well, why would Israel put him out, whoever it is, if that's really, or do they want to keep the real Iranian negotiator quiet and get them going after each other's necks? We're dealing with some very high level psychological warfare. Speaking of psychological warfare, this is why people like Leaky Joe had to go. And why we need to do something about these idiots that were putting out the videos about you have to disobey orders if they're illegal. We don't want to die for Israel. Oh, there you go. Marjorie Taylor Greene, Candace Owen, Tucker Carlson, all that drumbeat of blaming Israel, right? Among the American military personnel, doubts about Trump's strategy on Iran are spreading, and many are refusing to serve. The Huffington Post, they're the ones that got Coach, in my book, Coach Red Pill, lost his life, a California citizen, a U.S. citizen. Remember that? I'll get into that more. But I did videos on that. They all got taken down. But anyway, military personnel talk about a sense of vulnerability, severe stress, disappointment, and loss of illusions to the point where they might leave the Army. Good, get the hell out. That way we don't have to pry you out. American troops are suffering from, quote, insufficient protection and planning. What the hell? You got the best equipment in the world. You're supposed to have the best training. But if you are trained through DEI, you do have insufficient protection because you're living in a damn dream world. And the serious destabilizing impact of Iranian ballistic missiles and drones. Well, that ordnance comes at you, which have repeatedly attacked American military facilities, as is noted. What do you want the world to do? What do you want people to do? Oh, we better just let Iran do what they want, and you all walk around in uniforms on bases, and we'll just avoid fights so you won't get upset. That's what being in the military is all about. Not hardly. But anyway, so you got the Huffington Post pumping this kind of garbage out. But yeah, I said a while back, I know that military intelligence is doing a scraping of social media posts, and we're getting down to brass tacks with people that are in these service that don't belong. They need to go. We need a fighting force, not a pack of delusional weirdos. And, I didn't get into it too much, but this situation of the Stratotanker crashing, I alluded to it a little bit, that there were 4 men and 2 women on board. And I'm not saying nothing about women in general, but I am saying that in the military, people were put in positions, particularly female or transgender, to satisfy radical left policies. And they were put in positions that they, in actuality, could never perform up to a safe level. What's going to be the answer to how what is suspected, the nose cone of that plane hitting the tail of the other plane, and 6 people losing their lives, nearly half the total casualty of this entire conflict? Was it because of pilot error? Was the pilot error because of DEI policies? It's a question that has to be asked and answered. Speaking of nose of a plane, I was wondering, are they going to blame this on the DHS? You heard about this Air Canada. Look at the nose of that plane. It struck wow. Both the pilots died. I heard that a stewardess got ejected out of the runway and survived. So there's other injuries. And let's see, I got some video. Let's see. Yeah, right here. I'm not sure how much. I think it shows after the scene. But I heard there's a video.
The plane just tilted back.
It was on the ground on the nose. As they're deplaning, they just lifted in the air. Holy.
There's apparently a radio transmission from the controller that said that he said, I screwed up. I made a mistake. But then again, they're saying there's video that they ran into a fire truck. The plane did. So we have to see what comes out of it. But they're saying that the fire truck pretty much pulled right out in front of the plane, and the plane couldn't stop. And if the controller told the fire truck to go ahead and cross the runway, that doesn't excuse you from using your common sense and your on-the-ground perceptions. Like your mother used to say, if your friends told you to jump off a bridge, would you do it? So, yeah. I don't know till I see it, but they're saying the fire truck should have waited, but they pulled right out in front of the plane. Whoever was, I mean, come on now. I know being a pilot's one thing, but driving a damn truck, almost anybody can do that and use their damn judgment. But anyway, I thought I would talk about that since I talked about the nose of the other plane. Let me see what's going on in the chat. Anybody come in on miss? Well, you saw the nose of the plane was destroyed, that was a heck of an impact. Hi, Brush, how you doing? And you're in pretty much a glorified beer can. I mean, they're made out of aluminum. Phantom, how you doing? Yeah, mountains of tires. Oh, there's all kinds of stuff that happened. There's volcanoes, forest fires, natural gas vents, thousands of events around this big old world every day, day after day, hour by hour. And even one volcano eruption, we could run every vehicle on the face of the earth for 200,000 years, and we couldn't touch what one volcano does. We are like a nit on a mule's behind as far as this earth is concerned. Power supply disruptions due to U.S. and Israel's operation against Iran could persist for years, writes Axios. I meant to talk, they said this about another situation. Would take years to straighten out. And then 2 days later, they said, well, they could have it going in 30 days. 30 to 90 days. That's not years. Let me remind the American people. After World War II, we rebuilt Europe. It was called the Marshall Plan. They destroyed Dresden from the air, an ancient city in Germany. It was horrible. It was, Winston Churchill said, are we barbarians? And Berlin was destroyed, and many other cities in between. And it didn't take years to straighten it all out. We're talking a huge chunk of Europe. And that was with 1940s technology. So these people are stirring up with the climate change, the gas shortages, the power shortages for years. All this is BS. Anybody with common sense and a little bit of knowledge of history. Well, they call Axios a portal. The portal emphasizes that the blockade of the Strait of Hormuz has already disrupted global raw material supplies. Now these disruptions could worsen due to the damage causing energy facilities in the Persian Gulf region. Get out of here. Fearmongers. German Chancellor Merz, working with the Japanese, he wants to get a coalition. Okay, whatever. But he stated about not very good relations with Trump. Well, that's your problem. We don't have good relations with Trump right now, he said. Merz also criticized the pro-Trump MAGA movement. That's what I didn't like about that poll Harry Anton put up. If you're part of the MAGA crowd, if you're part of the MAGA club, what, I got to have a card? I got to sign up somewhere? They're making it seem like we're separate from the rest of the world. And this guy's doing the same thing. That's why I didn't like playing that Henry or what, the pollsters, even though it was 100% for Trump. He was isolating the MAGA movement. It's not isolated. The MAGA movement is not our movement. They are doing with culture and the media the way they treat each other. This is not our understanding of the democracy. We have a different understanding, the chancellor stated. What are you talking about? The way they treat each other. What are you talking about? We respect each other. We enjoy seeing people succeed. We reject people being assassinated and shot in the back like Luigi did. We reject what animals, like who did the assassination of Charlie Kirk. We condemn that. We respect hard work. We know there's value to citizenship. We know there's value to the American spirit. And we don't want to dilute it. Keep in mind, folks, that's the thing I wanted to mention too, about Germany. And I am a Germ. I'm half German from where the Germs live. They were split, okay? East and West Germany. East Germany was run by the Soviets, heavily Soviet influence, the Berlin Wall, the Iron Curtain, and it was run in a communist way for half a century almost. 40 years, till the fall of the Berlin Wall. Well, let's see. 91, 45, 50, 45 years. So, who are these people in charge right now? And why was Trump referring to Angela Merkel? And what the 17th letter said? Her heritage, okay? Her family roots. Are they all more weighted toward East Germany communism is what I'm saying. And I'm sure Trump's very well aware of all this stuff. Oh, by the way, give me a thumbs up if you think about it. Ha ha ha! If you haven't yet, I appreciate it. Helps the video get around. I really do appreciate it. And this is some more crap from the media, which is not our friends, the Guardian. What do you think they're doing? What do you think they're doing? They're going to start Shadows of COVID. I'll call this report Shadows of COVID. I want to thank Wayne for going by buy me a coffee. It looks like everything's frozen. There we go, kaboom! And I want to thank Mike and Bev. And I want to thank Miss Mindersoo. Kapow, kapow. We're going by buy me a coffee. Here's the fast booms. Boom, boom. Everybody that's gone to buy me a coffee this week, I do appreciate it. There's my boom sound. Boom, boom, boom. I have a link I'll put in the description because this is a totally viewer-supported channel. And I'm not monetized on YouTube. It is the support of the viewers that keep this channel going. And I do appreciate it so much. And the only way I can give you guys the, for whatever reason, with YouTube, is put it in the chats. So I'll tell people what time in the, there we go, in the stream, the 110 mark, 111 mark, I put in the chats. Anybody that wants to help the channel out, I put a link in. And Roland said goodbye. Good night, Roland. The world is being advised to switch back to working from home. Shadows of COVID, folks. Tell me what you think. You agree? Reports The Guardian. The publication writes that the World Energy Monitoring Organization has recommended that governments reduce the speed limit on highways and urged workers to use carpooling, ideally, or work from home to counter the sharp rise in oil prices. I'll repeat myself, it was this way all the time under Joe Biden, and nobody brought this crap up. Nobody. And the impending fuel shortage caused by the conflict in the Middle East. We're all going to start to work from home. Everybody in the government's going to go work from home, namely not go to work, not do anything, but get a paycheck. It was also recommended that all countries consider restricting car access to especially designated zones in major cities. Oh, 15-minute cities. Restricting car access to specifically designated zones in major cities. You seen it right there in front of your eyes. They never give up. They look for any. The World Energy Monitoring Organization, who the hell are you? Remember when I was talking about Karl Marx sending a letter to Lincoln in 1865. They named themselves some real important name. We are the Committee of the Ultra Wonderful Smart People. Oh, okay. Anyway, here Trump was pumping this out. Pumping it out. Post after post after post. USA now produces more oil than Saudi Arabia and Russia combined. You know what the key word is there now? I just said it. The key word is now. USA now produces more oil than Saudi Arabia and Russia combined. What does that mean? That means later we'll produce even more. I said we could drown Europe in oil. And Trump's just reminding everybody, we don't need this garbage. Listen, London, listen, Germany, listen, France. You're the ones with the lunatic mullahs that can send ballistic missiles to your front door. They can't get it to ours, okay? You're the ones that need that oil out of that Persian Gulf, okay? We don't need it. That is Trump's message. And you all better get your heads out of your rear ends, quit this mass migration, okay? spend some money on NATO, spend some money on your own damn military, and protect your borders and get your culture and your country back and defend yourselves. Because we're not going to be there pumping our treasure and time and sometimes blood for you all. USA now produces more natural gas than Russia, Iran, and China combined. Okay, we don't need this. And if you end up having to get up at 5 in the morning and poke your rear end up in the air and face Mecca or get your head cut off, if that happens, whose fault is that? You want us to come over there in a crusade to save you? Trump's giving you a warning. And no, we're not going to do it. Blue states drive high electricity prices. And there he gives the proof right there. You live in a blue state. Not just high electricity prices, but gas prices. Look at what they tack on to gas in California, Maryland, all these commie states. Oh, but they care. They care about people more than we do. They care about transgender children. Okay? So you just mind your own business. Blue states led Biden price hikes. For power, for energy. Well, they raise gas, MS Motorsports, they raise gas any excuse they can get. Then the media is pumping right into it, where it's an expectation that gas is going to go up. They say, well, people expect it to go up, we might as well raise it. The guy across the street raised his gas prices, I'm going to raise mine. Blue states drive high electricity prices. But we've got to serve ourselves first. So much of it gets sold overseas. For years, this is from Donald Trump, Democrats ignored violent and vicious crimes of all shapes, sizes, and colors. I mixed that up, but I said them all. Violent criminals who should have been locked up were allowed to attack again. Democrats were also far too happy to let in the worst from the worst countries they could rip off, so they could rip off American taxpayers. Boy, ain't that the truth. Democrats only think there's one crime, not voting for them. Instead of protecting Americans and their tax dollars, Democrats chose instead to prosecute anyone they can find that wanted safe and secure elections. Democrats have been relentless in their targeting of Tina Peters, a patriot who simply wanted to make sure that our elections were fair and honest. Tina is sitting in a Colorado prison for the, quote, crime of demanding honest elections. Free Tina! So that is, how many times has he posted this stuff? Something's going to happen with Tina Peters. Something's going to happen with this creep too. Donald Trump posted this. Who's that in the top of the screen? Questions grow as Lieutenant Michael Byrd, who shot Ashley Babbitt on January 6th, operates a taxpayer-funded home daycare. This is during a $190 million fraud schemes are being uncovered. Something new every foggy day. So Mr. Byrd might be in trouble. Oh, he is in trouble. Trump administration, here we go. There's some gas pumps for you. Cancels $109 million in environmentally focused transportation grants for Colorado. Transportation grants for what? What are they going to do? Print signs saying stop oil and sit in the road? These projects did not align with President Trump's ambitious America First agenda or were redundant. The U.S. Department of Transportation spokesman said in a statement, I'm sure whatever they had in mind is worthless. What's this one? Oh, I'll play these two videos. Laura Loomer. The other day, anti-Trump protesters near the White House began chanting, "Globalize the Intifada," a chant endorsed by elected Democrats like Zohran Mamdani. Hi, Felix. As the video progresses, the anti-Trump protesters became enraged at us for exposing their radical anti-American positions or views or whatever. This plays back into what I was saying 20 minutes ago or half an hour ago. How come the only thing we ended up with all this migration happened to be the whack jobs, not moderate people from Persia or other countries in the Middle East? We end up with rock-thrown Palestinians and jihadists and Sharia law supporters. Here they are. Does the media, regular media, ever post this to say, hey, America, you might have a problem with this bunch of lunatics that are supporting a regime that ended the lives of over 30,000 people in a couple of weeks and just committed the outrage of the executions of those 3 young men on a wrestling team? They're out there waving their flags.
No more money for Israel's crimes. Not a penny, not a dollar. We won't pay for Israel's slaughter. Not another nickel, not another dime.
Quit memorializing the Ayatollah, who is a terrorist. Quit supporting terrorists. Yeah, you do. You support the Ayatollah. You're a literal terrorist. This is my park, not your park. Again, my park, not your park.
When people are occupied, keep walking.
Yeah, I got other videos of them screaming and yelling, but you get the drift. You get the gist. And so, that plus what else happened? This young lady right here. This young lady, Loyola University, Chicago student, shot and killed while walking with friends. Police say. They're not going to let the story out on that. What was this, ABC? They're not going to tell us anything about the person that did it. Say her name. Sheridan Gorman. She was killed walking in Chicago by a Venezuelan illegal whose name is still not disclosed by authorities. Wait a minute. Wait, there's more. Here. There he is. Venezuelan illegal migrant accused of killing Loyola student Sheridan Gorman entered country under Biden, DHS confirms. He's 25 years old. She was 18. Did it early Thursday morning while she walked along the Chicago lakefront with her friends, according to a DHS release. Well, what does somebody on the lunatic left say? Where is it? Where? I forget her name. Maybe this is it. Oh, that's Trump. I'll get to that in a second. Trump saying swamp the vote. Let's see. I might have a description of who she is. Or it's just her. Let me see. Is this it? She's some like councilwoman or alderwoman. Here's what she's got to say about it.
All the time, right? And they go out on the pier, they walk around. So the kids were out doing normal things people do in the neighborhood. And it sounds like this might have been a wrong place, wrong time, running into a person who had a gun. They might have startled this person at the end of the pier unintentionally. But that's
Boy, I know some people got in trouble for saying the term smackable face. They said that about Nick Sandman. Remember that? They said he had a smackable face. So I won't say it. But anyway, wrong place, wrong time. So a 25-year-old illegal alien was startled by an 18-year-old girl. See the smile on her face. These people don't have your good in mind. They're worthless. They can't produce anything or do anything. So they end up in government because they're smarter than you and they know more than you. And when you get what's coming, they put that smirk on their face and just tell you, wrong place, wrong time. What was that female fire chief? She said, well, if he's stuck in a burning building, can't get up, I guess he's got a problem, doesn't he? Here's some stupid chick walking past ICE agents in the airport.
Nazis don't belong in America, and they don't belong in airports.
Well, that wasn't much. She just, called them Yahtzees. We don't need you at the airport, Yahtzees. What an idiot. She's the only one saying it. Somebody should have told her, why don't you shut your filthy mouth if you don't know what you're talking about. So here's a story that's breaking or broke. I've been busy with setting up live streams, so I don't know if there's any more information on it. But there's a young girl, I think it was Tennessee. Did y'all hear about that? Let me find it. Her car got surrounded. Let me see. I know I've got it. Here it is. I got a couple of videos. This is a chaotic scene where 20-year-old Cadence, Carpenter allegedly drove her Tesla into a crowd that was surrounding her car in Lexington, Kentucky. Early Sunday morning. That means maybe partying Saturday night and heading home Sunday morning. Why did they surround her car? Reports are that she injured 4 people. She faces 4 counts of second-degree assault, DUI, and reckless driving. So she's going to have to rebuild her life, from whatever happened. Let me see. Here's the video. This is after I don't know what we'll see here, but it's too rough. I don't know how much I can play. Let me see.
Oh, they about to hit us. Oh my God. Oh no. That's none of our business. That's none of our business. That's none of our business. She about to really run through. She about to really run through. She really about to run back through. I seen it happening. I seen it happening.
Well, it looks like they were all out there clubbing. Here's another angle. And yeah, I mean, apparent she was trying to leave. So the jury's going to have to look at this. Here's another angle of it. A bird's eye view, I guess. Let me see. Let me zoom in here. See if anybody shoves her or what. I guess it's outside, I don't know, maybe a nightclub or something. But it's Sunday morning, so it's past midnight. We all know nothing good happens past midnight. Generally.
She better go. No, she better go. She better go. Oh my God, she getting arrested. Oh my God. If you just ran. Oh! GK3! Oh my goodness! Oh my God! Oh my God, she better go. She better go. No, she better go. She better go. Oh my God, she getting arrested. Oh my God. She's too drunk. Why would she do that shit? Why would she do that shit? She's too drunk. Who got hit by a car? Are you okay? Are you okay? Okay, we'll stop playing. Like, for real. No, about 4 or 5 niggas got hit by a car at once. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, it's a little different perspective. She had other options, I believe, than to run people over. Speaking of other options, who is this guy that is what is the name of the show? Reacher? What's the guy's name that's a star on Reacher? He beat up his neighbor. Did y'all hear about this? Well, I don't know. Look at it again, Debbie. She could have backed up and she drove over the curb. Hi, Joshua. She could have backed up and went out the other way. I don't know. You have to analyze the tape. That's why I played it twice. But anyway, who is this person, Reacher? Here he is. I don't watch that crap, but apparently he was riding around in the neighborhood. What in the world? And speeding. And then he came down the road speeding again. With his kids following him on motorcycles. I don't know how old his kids were, but they were apparently living the life of a celebrity, children of a celebrity, raising hell in the streets and doing whatever they wanted. And the neighbor said something, and he beats the neighbor up in front of his kids. So I guess this guy is probably going to get a lot of money, and hopefully he wasn't hurt too bad.
It started on Saturday morning and I'm an experienced motorcycle rider. I've been riding bikes all my life. So, from dirt bikes to street bikes and etc. But I'd heard this incestuous revving and speeding through our neighborhood of the motorcycle. I eventually saw the guy on Saturday. I didn't know who it was. And I sort of flippantly said, "Guy, do you, he was quite away." And I said, "Can you just slow it down, please?" And then there are numerous people in my neighborhood who caught all of this on Ring doorbells of him speeding through the neighborhood. And on Sunday, when I was cleaning my bike outside my house, he rode past once, twice, and on the second time, I walked out in front of him and I said, "You've got to stop. Someone's going to get hurt." And it escalated quite quickly from there. I did push him because he was coming towards me on his bike. He did it again for a second time. I pushed him a second time. And I think the second time he got off his bike and it kicked the crap out of me. And you can see he hit me in the back of my head. I went to the ground and covered myself. I've had such a shitty day today, and I don't wish the guy any malice or ill will, but we just don't need people riding through neighborhoods like this. And I just decided, I'm take a stand because someone else has to, because it's going to end up way worse than it could.
Yeah. You get somebody on the ground and keep hitting them in the head, you're probably going to end up paying a settlement on that. This is the one report that had me thinking the way I was talking at the beginning of the broadcast about all these congressmen, senators. I really don't have a lot of respect for any of them anymore. Here's Thune, right? Trump told him, "You just pass this damn stuff that 85% of the Americans want. Just do it, get it done, no matter what it takes. It's the biggest thing in front of us now." And it should have never have gotten to this point. Why the hell are we dealing with 20 to 30 million illegal aliens in our country? Why in the hell are we dealing with a bunch of politicians who have been elected through stolen elections, running our lives and pushing communist policies down our throats for decades? Why are we dealing with this crap when you all have been in power and watching it happen, watching the billions and trillions being stolen? Representative Nancy Mace from Diamond Silk announced Sunday that the House Republicans plan to block bills passed by the Senate until the chamber takes actions on the Save America Act. I got a better idea. How about Trump just declares martial law, Insurrection Act, because you all cannot function in the manner which you intended? There's too much evidence that you're purposely trying to destroy this republic, that you participated in past criminality. You all go the hell home and let the military handle the elections. And we'll start with whatever shows up from the elections. How about that? And we'll do real investigations, have a real special prosecutor. Because nobody's going to walk away from this. It's disgusting that we've been having to put up with what we've been having to put up with for so many years. Here we go again. Here we go. A fire hall. What's this? First responders outrage after Muslim prayer mats defile 9/11 memorial in New York City. This was at a fire department, New York Fire Department memorial. The placement of Muslim prayer rugs in front of a FDNY memorial honoring firefighters killed on 9/11 is drawing backlash from members who say the Ramadan observance crossed a line. Remember me saying, does Joe Kent, I don't know, I'm asking, can I ask a question? Does Joe Kent have a prayer rug? John Kerry's got them in his house. I don't know if they're his or not, but plenty of family members. You know, Barack Hussein Obama, have you heard of him? He's got one. You know, Ilhan Omar's got one. Rashida Tlaib and all the other whack jobs we're dealing with. Just a disgrace. And in Britain, you know, you have people volunteer to have an ambulance service. That's what this Jewish group did. Supplemental to the, air quotes, free health care you get over there in the UK, right? So they have a volunteer service. Anybody that needs ambulance care, not just Jewish people, but it's Jewish people that are organizing this volunteer ambulance service. What happens? A bunch of characters come up and set fire to the ambulances. Wait a minute now. Free, free Palestine. Free, 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 free Palestine. Free, free Palestine. That's who they stick up for. ICE agents are Yahtzees. Here's another view of it. After it'd been going for a while, people come running down the street and say, what the hell's going on? Hi, Melvita. Hundreds of thousands of dollars in damages. How much you want to bet they're migrants from a Muslim country? So yeah, whoever is dealing, I don't know what this video is, whoever's dealing with Trump behind the scenes has got to worry about his own crazies in his own country. Oh, here is the video from the Houthis. They're showing, not the Houthis, Hezbollah in Lebanon. They're putting out this propaganda video, and I got in trouble for music on one of these videos. One of my videos got taken down for like 12 hours. So let me cut that off. There. So they're showing how they, what the heck? How come I froze? They're showing how they smuggle these missiles around. They're showing the foggy mountains and the missiles being launched out of the fog. And these are basically those tube rockets that they were using from Palestine into Israel. Just primitive as hell, point and shoot. But they're putting out this propaganda video so people will know how much power they have and how many rockets we have. So they're somewhere in a wooded area, and hopefully they can use whatever technology to zero in on these creeps and wipe them out. See how they're showing how foggy it is, like a dawn or a misty morning out of the woods. They're able to shoot these rockets indiscriminately. Well, they say they're going after a base that it doesn't matter to them. It's kids or schools or whatever. It's awful hard to pinpoint. And then they just drag the thing off through the woods. No rhyme or reason to when they shoot or anything. Let me see. I got a video that is going to prove one thing. I said in the past, anybody can be dangerous. Anybody. And this isn't very inspirational, but it proves my point. But anyway, who came in? Don Rowe, how you doing? Nice to see you. Sparky's here. Who'd I miss? Anybody? But anyway, this is a quadriplegic. And he did something pretty awful. Like I said, looks can be deceiving and anybody can be dangerous. But anyway, folks, I put a link in the description for Buy Me a Coffee. I appreciate everybody that's helped out with Buy Me a Coffee. And I put out some booms, kaboom, kaboom, kaboom. And I should be going live day after tomorrow. If something big happens, I'm going to go live tomorrow. But welcome to my new subscribers, by the way. But if you're subscribed and hit the notification bell, you'll know when I go live. So anyway, yeah, this is kind of an oddball video. But anyway, I'll play it for you. And remember to be safe. And thank you for spending your precious time with me. And I should be going live day after tomorrow, hopefully. So anyway, I hope you all have a great night. I'll be seeing you soon. This is Mountain Man, over and out.
Professional cornhole player. This all started around 10:30 last night when La Plata police officers were flagged down by two witnesses near Radio Station Road. Charles County Sheriff's investigators say Weber was the driver when he shot and killed his front seat passenger, then asked those in the back seat to help get rid of the body. They refused, got out of the car, and alerted police. Weber took off with the victim in the car, identified as 27-year-old Bradrick Wells. 2 hours later and about 15 miles away, Wells's body was found dumped in someone's front yard in Charlotte Hall, Maryland. Soon after, Weber's car was tracked to a gas station in Charlottesville, Virginia. He was found at a hospital nearby and arrested